What's going on, everybody? Today's a hard day for everybody. It's a hard day for me. Comicstorian Benny Potter, he's no longer with us. And I don't think any of us recognize the impact that something like this would have on the entire community. It's really it's first of all, it's truly humbling to see all the outpour of all the fans, people saying that they literally grew up on his comics. When Benny first started his channel, I was about 24, 25, somewhere in that time frame. I'd gotten out of the military in 2012, and I struggled. This is something me and Benny had talked about off air about our military experiences. For those that have been on the channel for a while, I got to talk to Benny almost exactly a month ago, and it was one of the greatest joys of my life. Because when I started this YouTube channel, he's up there on the Mount Rushmores. You know what I mean? His face is eternally engraved in the comic book YouTube landscape. And so when I started this channel, one of my biggest goals was to talk to him and Rob, because those are the two. Rob recently just did a video talking about Benny, and it made me break down into tears because it was just so sad. But they, like he said, they were the 1-2 punch. They are the 1-2 punch. There's no debating that whatsoever. They are the OGs. They are the GOATs, hands down. And these two guys really created something amazing for all of us. I would not exist. This channel would not exist had it not been for them. And getting back to what I was previously saying, Benny understood me more than most in this landscape, because not only was he Army, he was infantry. And that comes with its whole own thing in its own. There's the military, and then there's the infantry. So we hold a very certain pride to that. But when I got out of the military, it was one of the hardest times of my life. And had it not been for Rob, had it not been for Benny, I might not be here anymore. I probably would have taken my own life. Things like comics on YouTube were an escape for me, an opportunity to still feel connected to the world that I had cut myself off from, that I didn't feel like I belonged to. And I honestly just didn't think Benny would have this kind of impact on that. I didn't personally know him. I talked to him once for an hour, 2 hours a month ago for the first time, and like I said, it was the greatest joy of my life. But I never imagined that him passing would have this effect on me, and it hurts. It hurts because he has touched all of our lives in amazing ways. He has connected us with a childhood that we may not have had, a childhood that we may have forgotten, the inner child in all of us. He reminded us to have fun, to not take everything so seriously, to do the things you love, to talk about the things you love, to talk about the things that you're passionate about. I just, I felt like I considered doing this video in just one of the comics mentioning Comicstorian, but I that just didn't do him justice. He deserves his own dedicated video. He deserves a million dedicated videos to him and him alone. He didn't have to come on my channel. He didn't have to talk to me. He didn't have to sit there and BS, but he did. He took the time, me with 50,000 subscribers, him with 3 million subscribers. He took the time to talk to me. He took the time to get to know me. And we even had plans to talk about the Fallout TV show and possibly even doing things in the future. And it breaks my heart that I'll never get that conversation. Because I was, I was so excited to talk about Fallout with him because Fallout's one of the things I'm passionate about. I love Fallout. I've been playing it since excuse me. Since it was top view back in the early 2000s. And it is crazy to see so many people saying that they grew up with his comics. Because Benny's only about 4 or 5 years older than me. He's not that much older than me. And it's crazy that there's an entire generation that watched him, that grew up with him, were teenagers, were young preteens, watching his explanations of comics and the way that he touched the world. He showed people that it was okay to be a nerd, to read comic books. Because when me and Benny grew up in the time era we grew up in, being a nerd wasn't the cool thing. It wasn't okay to be a nerd. It wasn't okay to read comics. You weren't a cool kid if you were doing those things. And so to see the narrative change and Benny be such a big part of that narrative change is truly something amazing. There will never be anybody like him again. He truly is the best. I think I'm going to try to do some videos today. Strictly in honor of him. This is what we did. We talk about comics. And I feel like the best way that I can honor him is to continue to do that. To continue to talk about the things that I love. To continue and get at it and be a positive influence in this realm of comic book YouTube. There's a lot of people out there that have negative things to say about this comic or that comic, or this is woke and that's woke, and DC did this and Marvel did that. But one thing about Benny is he loved comics. Yeah, there were definitely some comics that he didn't enjoy, but he was never about, they're on this woke agenda or anything like that. No, Benny loved comics. He would read comics. He would talk about comics, eat, sleep, dream comics. And so I think the best way for me to honor him is to keep doing what we've been doing day in and day out. And just always remember that he started all of this. I think the best way, if you guys want to help out his family, I did it last night. I went on to his YouTube channel and I joined his membership page. I think this would be a great avenue for any fan that feels like they want to reach out and they want to help him or help his wife out, and help the staff and everybody else that was close to him. Go donate $2. Go jump on his membership. I think the highest membership he has is $10. go over there and join his membership, because I promise you that'll mean something to his wife. It'll mean something to the people that care about him, and at the very least, it'll help him out a little bit. Um, but I would love to hear all of your stories about Benny. Anything that matters to you, let me know down in the comments, because I personally, I've just been going through Twitter, reading all the stories of the people that Benny has touched throughout the years, and it's definitely heart wrenching. But let me know. Talk to me. Hit those comments up. I want to hear all of your Benny stories, no matter how small, no matter how silly. I want to hear how Benny touched your life.